When I flirt with a 70-year-old nurse in the hospital, I should hope that that's harmless. And I don't flirt, I'm charming. There's a difference.
What's the difference?
I'm going to have to think about it.
You are.
In the last few months, I have hung out quite a lot with a girl I'm crushing on and some mutual friends of ours, some new and some I knew since before. 2 weeks ago, I finally worked up the courage to ask her out. She said she likes me as a friend, but nothing more. I've accepted that and started to let go of the thought, expectation, hope of a relationship, though I still like her a lot, obviously. Question is, where do I go from here? We have seen each other a couple times since, and I like being with her and our friends, and I can be more relaxed now that I know that she's not interested, but it feels pretty awkward at times, and I'm not sure she actually wants me around. I want to talk to her about that and clear the air, but I'm not sure how to do that. I'm quite socially anxious, and she's pretty shy too, and I'm afraid it will just make things worse. Any advice about that or the situation in general would be greatly appreciated. In case anyone wonders, I'm in Sweden and we're a lot more chill about the pandemic than many other countries, which is why I've been able to see her recently. That's how you know that someone is anxious about what people think about them.
Right.
When they place disclaimers on Reddit posts. Thoughts?
I kind of do. So essentially, he likes this girl. They've been hanging out. He asks her out. She says, no, we're just friends. And he wants to know where to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy. I can tell you what I think from, assuming this is like a heterosexual thing. I can tell you what I think the girl is thinking.
What's the girl think?
The girl's thinking she probably likes somebody else, and she's probably pissed that she can't engage in a flirtation harmlessly anymore. She's lost like that sense of like, oh, I can't just like hang out with him because like I know he likes me and it's kind of fun to have somebody that likes you, but now he's said that he likes me, so now I can't do that anymore. So part of that fun is gone.
I don't know if that's what she's thinking, because if she's pretty socially anxious, usually women who are socially anxious,
She's socially anxious?
yeah. So usually they don't, engage in harmless flirtation for the point of harmless flirtation. Usually.
Who engages with
in harmless flirtation?
Yeah.
Confident women.
They do that.
Twitch chat, what do you think?
You. What was that?
I don't know. I'm not a woman. So this is why you guys have two different perspectives.
You engage in a harmless flirtation?
Yes. I'm a confident woman.
Clearly.
I don't know. You make that sound as if...
But I think non-confident women engage in flirtation. Maybe it's not harmless. Maybe that's where this divides out. It sounds like...
I think there's a question, is there a such thing as harmless flirtation?
Now it's not harmless.
I think the problem is that maybe harmless flirtation is not harmless.
It's an oxymoron.
Think about that. Although I do admit that when I flirt with a 70-year-old nurse in the hospital, I should hope that that's harmless. And I don't flirt, I'm charming. There's a difference.
What's the difference?
I'm going to have to think about it.
You are.
There is. Maybe charming is... Yeah, I'm going to have to think about it. That's a good question. Stay tuned. So here's what I think. So the first thing is, we have seen each other a couple of times since I like being with her and our friends, and I can be more relaxed now that I know she's not interested. But it feels pretty awkward at times, and I'm not sure she actually wants me around. So this is where you need to stop.
Yeah, I agree.
Because whether she wants you around or not is not your fucking problem.
Agree.
Right? Like you should, if she's a friend or an acquaintance of yours, putting her thoughts and feelings above yours is a mistake. You make sacrifices for the people that deserve your sacrifice. So if you're in a relationship, by all means, put her thoughts and feelings above your own. But if you're not in a relationship with her, if she's awkward, if she feels awkward because you're around, that's on her. It's not on you. You're not responsible for that, right? Like, number one. Okay.
Go back to the thing. So it's gonna feel awkward for a little while, but that's gonna pass. But if you try to like take some sort of overcorrective thing where you're like, oh, I don't think she wants me around, so now I'm not gonna be around. Every time you are around, it's gonna be awkward. So I would say just push through the awkwardness. And I think you'll come out the end.
The other thing to think about here, so I'm going to read this out, okay? I can be more relaxed now that I know she's not interested, but it feels pretty awkward at times, and I'm not sure she actually wants me around. I want to talk to her about that and clear the air, but I'm not sure how to do that. I'm quite socially anxious, and she's pretty shy too. Okay, guys, lesson time. If you're socially anxious, chances are that your brain is misinterpreting what's actually going on. So this whole idea that, but it feels pretty awkward and I'm not sure she actually wants me around, that thought is being produced by the busted part of your head that is social anxiety. Do not act based on what your social anxiety tells you, right? That's what kind of fucks you over even more. So, like, if you're socially anxious, recognize that what your mind is going to tell you to do is based on things that may not be factually correct. You're like, I want to clear the air because I feel weird. Well, okay, so just feel weird for a while and recognize that you may not need to clear the air.
Don't clear the air, please. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, so most of the time I'm a fan of having conversations. This is one of the times where, look, you told her you liked her. She says she's not interested. You're like, cool. And then
5-minute rule.
Keep going for 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that. So, like, just give it a couple more days before you do anything.
Yeah. So, I was just thinking that's a funny rule for like sex. But the rule was actually like for when we were looking for something, like don't give up looking, just like look for 5 more minutes and inevitably you're going to find it. And I think that the rule really does apply here. Just like give it some more time and then see where you are. Like don't make a choice or an action now and then just, give it some more time. But I'd also say like, if you're prioritizing her feelings above your own, that's, that you start to deviate away from that emotional investment and see what else is out there. More? Mm-hmm. You want to get it or you want me to get it? Okay. I mean, this one has to.
Do you want to switch?
Sure, I put a Coke in the freezer if you want to get gin and Coke. Yeah.
Is it not mine?
Please. Thanks, hon.